There was an individual out there who was about to expose evidence that you had committed serious crimes, and you had the resources available to stop this person, even if it meant using lethal force. What would you do?
So I know for a fact that the US government was very angry at Mr. Snowden. His safety and also his life was put at risk.
Would you know that?
I do know.
The idea that he could somehow evade the US for very much longer seemed inconceivable to us. And every time we interviewed him, we thought, well, that's the last time we'll see him. We've got to make the most of this because we won't get the chance to speak to him tomorrow. He won't be there.
For many years, Edward Snowden worked at NSA headquarters near Washington, D.C., just miles from where he grew up.
I saw him in the shadow of the National Security Agency. Literally, he was in the area of Fort Meade. He was there. I picked him up. We went out to dinner.
The Snowden family has a long history of military service, dating back to colonial times.
Let me explain this. Dating back to colonial times. You guys, this is something that this country has done from its conception. It is set up as the puppeteer of the bloodline. How do I put this? It's so deep. It's the bloodline intent to enslave the masses. So I'm trying to tell you something that's really deep here, and I'm going to give you references. Look up Michael Rupert. Michael Rupert. He was a Los Angeles police officer who was the son of a CIA mother. They passed this through the bloodline, and he turned on them when they tried to force him to join. You guys, I'm telling you, I've been studying this since the early 90s, okay? Another source, Pale White Horse, Bill Cooper or William Cooper. Look these people up. He's an ex-CIA person in the Pale White Horse. You can read in the book where this CIA man who said, I can't do it no more. I can't hide what's going on. He talks about the aliens. He talks about what they were doing to use the black people as the lowest caste of the slave line. That, and everybody else is slaves, okay? But the lowest class is the black people, and how they put, and when I'm talking about this, his exact words is he informed on them about how they were putting drugs into our communities, how they were putting guns into our communities, which is something that's very well known now that just wasn't even heard of back when it was happening. So we have to do our research, because what you will find out is that what's going on is not by, oh, there's nothing we can do about it. We're just lost. It's just the way human beings are. This is not the way human beings are. This is by design. And it's by design by evil, very wicked systems set way up high.
Edward Snowden had an impressive career in America's intelligence community. By the age of 27, he'd gained access to its deepest secrets.
Only the
He just
bloodline.
seemed almost depressed.
That was his daddy.
It was not the Ed that I knew.
What Snowden couldn't tell his father during that dinner was that he'd discovered NSA documents that disturbed him.
One of the key things that actually motivated me was the growing realization that we, in the United States government, were increasingly making decisions that departed from the rule of law.
I assumed that maybe there was something going on between him and his long-term.
Now, see what he's talking about is the CIA and the government were doing things that went against the law. In other words, what he was trying to say is that now that all of the people who follow the rules, which is do not tell, keep it all secret, were closing in on the total genocide of the masses to the point of only 500 million. And that's talked about in the Georgia Guidestones. So look up the Georgia Guidestones and you will see that they talk about that they only want 500,000 people left on Earth. So all of this is like a coming together, but at the same time, certain people have a heart. A few, so very few, sacrifice their lives. Like this guy here, he sacrificed his life. He will never be able to live a normal life because if they ever catch him, he must die to show that you never tell about what they're doing to us. And the other two people that I told you about, both dead. Cooper was murdered by them. They used the system, I believe, and had the police where they were going to arrest him, and he was to be killed. And so William Cooper was murdered, and Michael Rupert, I believe they did one of those little shot things where they shoot you through the heart and you have a heart attack. Now this is somebody that trains all the time, is very aware of, keeping up with his health, but he just has a heart attack at a young age. So I just want you guys to be aware of how this stuff is happening. And I'm going to close my film here. It goes into a lot more talking about the United States' reason for wanting to kill Edward Snowden, which they're not going to say they wanted to kill him, but their reasoning is that he had to have a serious ego to feel like he was higher than the CIA, the president, all of the channels that were above, who was approving of them to mass incarcerate us or mass kill us off, and when I say that, the information that they did leak, you already know. They were going to spy on every single American citizen. And that was to start their plan for what they're doing now anyways. Okay. So I'm going to get off of here. But of course, if you know that somebody is trying to destroy a whole nation, how do you continue? And the vast majority of these corrupt, evil people like Hillary Clinton, she's a major murderer. I mean, I couldn't even vote this last time around because Trump is a racist and Hillary Clinton is a mass murderer. And I know she wouldn't have had any problem with just having an attack on American citizens and then claiming that China did it. And then she would have waged war in China. You guys, please, you need to know your government. Know who you are allowing to run over 7 billion people on Earth. And everything keeps getting worse because these people are so evil and wicked. And the masses keep saying, nothing we can do about it. It's the same thing as if there were 100 people locked up right now today in a room. And the captors came in and delivered 10 pizzas. And then one person grabs all 10 pieces and says, I'm sorry, you guys, because I'm trying to think and talk at the same time. But one person grabs all 10 pieces and says, I will give everybody dish out the crumbs, because the rich should own up everything and the crumbs should trickle down to the poor. But do you think that 99 people would allow that one person to hoard the pizzas like that? And I know if you have common sense, you'll agree, no way. So why do we do it? 7 billion people are doing it, allowing them to make us work and slave and suffer to try to fight over the crumbs, while the 1% is enslaving us. Think about it.